Great place to watch football, and South Carolina fans have been clamoring for a chance to represent the East. And the team certainly feeling that vibe. Coach Steve Spurrier has said time and time again, how will this team handle success as they take the field at Williams-Brice Stadium? Well, the task of trying to knock down the Gamecocks will fall to Derek Dooley's young and experienced Tennessee Volunteer football team. And I think anybody that follows the game understands where Tennessee is. It's a rebuilding movement in Knoxville right now, but it doesn't, I guess, diminish some of the pain you suffer when you're 2-5. Quarterback position has been a hot topic, always will be, always has been. And what do you make of the situation right now in Knoxville?
Well, I'll tell you what, the coaches want consistency at this position, and that's the reason why we're going to see two today in Matt Sims and Tyler Bray. They've been waiting on one of these two guys to really take over and say, hey, you can't. They don't care. They just want one of these guys to grab the reins and run with it.
Well, Tennessee will try to get back on the winning track today in this hostile environment. Down on the field in the middle of this hostility is our own Kara Capuano. She joins us now. Kara.
Well, guys, as you know, South Carolina's Steve Spurrier is in his 21st year as a college head coach. He has faced Tennessee more than any other opponent, and he is well aware that this is the stretch of the season in which his Gamecocks traditionally struggle. In the 5 years under Spurrier, starting with this Tennessee matchup, the Gamecocks are 8-13. Dave, you mentioned hope. The head ball coach has hope this year. Better players, better team leaders, and his recognition that Tennessee and Florida are not their typically dominant selves. He told us yesterday this coaching staff at South Carolina is here to do some firsts, and they are playing for their first trip to Atlanta to fight for an SEC title, something this program has never had the opportunity to do.
Well, if they can get there, watch out Atlanta. It could be a crazy weekend. Derek Dooley on the other side just trying to fight through it, trying to find some hope for down the road, playing a lot of young players. 2-5 in his first season in Knoxville. Now, they have played some pretty competitive football. It's just down the stretch when that depth comes into play that they have struggled. Alabama last week really took it to them in the second half after it was just a 13-10 game. And you can see the folks here excited to get this one underway. It is a perfect day, folks. We've been waiting in the South for this kind of weather for a long, long time. It's either been smoking hot or just a downpour.
Yeah, I'm tired of sweating through my shirts on Saturday afternoon. This is nice. Nice breeze. It's a perfect day for SEC football.
Well, Tennessee won the toss. They deferred, so South Carolina will receive. You look back deep, Bryce Sherman. All 5'4" of Bryce. To return the kickoff, Michael Pilardi, another true freshman for Tennessee, will kick it off as Daniel Lincoln will not play today with a bad quad. That kick sails down to the 5, and that is where Sherman will take it. Bryce out to the 25-yard line, a 20-yard return. LaMarcus Thompson brings him down. So Matt Sims will wait as South Carolina takes the field first. And I tell you what, this is a chance for Stephen Garcia and this South Carolina offense to maybe took whatever energy and enthusiasm Tennessee has out of their sails right now.
I tell you what, you're looking at a different player. He's different than last year when we had a chance to see him up close and personal in the Papa John's Bowl down in Birmingham. Totally different football player, Stephen Garcia.
This Lattimore with the first carry after taking a week off with a bad ankle. Anxious to get back on the field. A 4-yard pickup for the true freshman as we take a look at this Gamecock offense. And certainly having Lattimore helps, but Alshon Jeffrey and Torrey Gurley are not bad either on the outside. And Patrick DeMarco will play a little bit of fullback, a little bit of tight end today. On the offensive line, they've kind of settled in on this group. King has been playing very well up front. TJ Johnson got some kudos from his coach in our meetings yesterday as well. Garcia out of that shotgun. It up, looking for DeMarco, makes the catch. He's inside Tennessee territory at the 46-yard line. A 25-yard pickup, first down, South Carolina.
I'll tell you what, a year ago, Stephen Garcia would have run with this football. But he finds Patrick DeMarco. Look at this. His ability to run puts pressure on the defense and then dropping a dime in to his tight end, Patrick DeMarco. That's the development we talked about.
Quick throw to the outside. Jeffrey gets it to the 42-yard line. Prentice Wagner in on the tackle. Give us a chance to take a look at this Tennessee defense. And the guys up front, not a lot of depth up there. Gerald Williams, Malik Jackson, Victor Thomas, former offensive lineman, now in the starting lineup on the defensive side. Nick Revesz leads this team with 65 tackles. And the secondary, Eric Gordon gets the start today. Marcellus Teague with turf toe is dressed out. Don't know if you'll. Lattimore, a little inside handoff. Gets it down to the 36-yard line. Give him 4. That'll bring up about a 3rd down and 2.
And the guy calling the plays today for South Carolina, G.A. Mangus, is changing tempos, kind of fast, or actually kind of slow to start. And then you saw the little swing pass out to Alshon Jeffrey, speeding things up.
That inside handoff picks up 5 and another South Carolina 1st down.
Ever so dangerous with him with a football in his hand. I said, well, when did you know he was going to be a player for you? And he said, you know, early in camp, he was just different. He ran over DJ Swearinger, who, you know, in practice, it got the attention of all the guys. You just don't run over DJ. And that kind of earned him a little respect early in camp.
1st down and 10. Drive started back at the Carolina 25. Play fake. Garcia over the middle. That pass is caught. Tory Gurley now inside the 10-yard line. Brent Brewer, another true freshman, in on the tackle, but a 22-yard gain for South Carolina.
Let me tell you something. That's one of my favorite players in all of college football. Tory Gurley right here, little post route, and dropping it, flattening him out before he gets to the safety. And here's why. Has nothing to do with what he does on the field, but he is a special receiver. It's his story away from the field and how it got him to South Carolina that made me a fan. A guy that just would not quit.
Gurley in motion as Garcia checks the play at the line of scrimmage on 1st and goal, just inside the 10. There's Lattimore, inside handoff. He's down to the 3. Herm Lathers finally brings him down.
I asked Lorenzo Ward, who is the defensive coordinator by title. We know Ellis Johnson calls the defenses, but we got a chance to meet with him. He says,
quick snap, flags down everywhere. Lattimore sneaks in, but the snap might have been a little too quick.
They are fast. Fast today are the Gamecocks. But going back to that story with Lorenzo, we met with him yesterday, and I said, how, you know, defensively facing Marcus Lattimore, how is it when you got to try to bring him down?
Offense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
He says he just runs with that pad level all the time. When you hit him, he's always going forward. Boy, Stephen Garcia snapped it right into his face mask.
And Lattimore catches it. How about that?
He can do it all. Said he had good hands out of the backfield. Kind of shows it right there. Heads up play.
Hey, how you doing? Don't want that snap inside the red zone.
And you wonder why I hate the shotgun.
South Carolina has been very good inside the red zone. They lead the conference in touchdowns inside the red zone as Connor Shaw steps in out of the shotgun. And once again, more movement. And maybe the new quarterback, the cadence, throwing the Gamecocks
Dead ball foul. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
We got an illegal shift and then a false start. Kind of going backwards after a great start to this drive. A nice mixture of run and pass from South Carolina. We had a great visit that we'll talk about throughout this afternoon with Steve Spurrier yesterday. And I'll tell you what, he is different in his own right. So I think he's enjoying things a little bit more around here at South Carolina.
Garcia pass down the way. That'll bring up a 3rd down. They were looking at 2nd and goal from the 3. And now they're looking at 3rd down and goal. And that ball sits right about the 13-yard line.
Well, you don't want to waste an opportunity to get points when you're playing an SEC opponent early in a football game and take yourself backwards and have to settle for 3 as opposed to the big points.
South Carolina's only attempted 1 field goal in the last 4 games. That was last week, and they missed it.
They've been super in the red zone.
21 touchdowns and 26 opportunities. 3rd down to the end zone. That ball's picked off. How about the stop from the Volunteers?
Excellent anticipation.
Nick Revesz with the interception.
And he's out dropping in zone coverage, and Stephen Garcia is trying to anticipate. Alshon Jeffrey coming off coverage, puts the ball up early, and he's out there. Nick Revesz is out there. If you're wondering why, Marcus Lattimore is lined up out wide. And he's out there covering Marcus Lattimore, but I'll tell you what, nice heads-up play by Nick Revesz.
The senior out of Farragut, Tennessee, comes up big, his second pick of the season. And for Stephen Garcia, his 7th interception in 2010. And now the Volunteers have it. First down and 10 from the 20. Boy, a big-time stop. We'll see if Sims and company can do something with it. That handoff goes to Torin Poole. He's coming off a 100-yard game against Alabama, and he will pick up almost 9 on that opening carry. Antonio Allen with the tackle, the junior out of Ocala. As you look at Matt Sims playing, what do you think that'll impact?
I think he'll be fine. He's a tough kid. He stands in there. He's taking a lot of hits with a young offensive line in front of him, but he seems to come fighting each and every time.
Out of the eye again, this time nowhere to run for Torin Poole as he is met by Travian Robertson, who's leading the way, a loss of a yard.
Fast physical player. Travian Robertson gets up the field. And right here, you see him split 2 offensive linemen and close down on Torin Poole. But they have got a fast defensive line that can cause problems for any offense.
We'll call it third down and a long 2 for the Volunteers. Out of the shotgun, Sims gets the snap. Looks, throws, pass caught. That'll be a first down at the 36-yard line. Goes to Gerald Jones. Pushed out of bounds by DJ Swearinger, and that's a gain of 8.
Yeah, and a nice accurate throw to the outside. They clear it out with Justin Hunter on the outside. Little out route. Nice heads-up play by Gerald Jones of getting to the first down marker and then throwing it out in front where Jones can turn up the field. Matt Sims, nice throw and catch there.
From the 36. And off again. Another loss of a yard, maybe 2 on the play. First man on the spot, Antonio Allen, his second tackle here in the opening moments. As we take a look at this Tennessee starting lineup, Torin Poole has been really good. 6th in the conference in rushing. Now, you'll notice Kevin Cooper is not in the starting lineup. He is not here. The senior fullback, some academic issues back in Knoxville, Tennessee, will not be here today. Offensive line, very young, but Zach Fulton got a couple of good nods from the coaches after a game last week against Alabama. High snap. Torin Poole gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Cliff Matthews, the first man there. Here's a look at that Gamecock defense. This front 4 has been just, they've been disgusting.
Yeah.
They have 25 sacks, or excuse me, they have 24 sacks. That is first in the conference. Linebacking core led by Josh Dickerson in the middle, making all the calls. And the secondary's been lit up a little bit, but still a very talented bunch if they can get on the same page. Sims, wide side to Gerald Jones. Flag comes down late. Jones will pick up the first down if the play stands. Chris Culliver pushes him out of bounds. That's a
dire field and then is able to find Gerald Jones, but let's check the flag here from the line judge out wide. There may be a holding called against Tennessee.
Ineligible downfield. Number 83 offense was covered up. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay third down.
It's usually something on the outside when a flag comes flying in. That's why it surprised me, but it's Zach Rogers who was covered up by one of the other receivers.
And it looks like
the flag.
Looks like Denarius Moore was on top of Zach Rogers over there, which will get you 5 yards. So now you're looking at 3rd and 15.
Which is where you wanted to keep yourself out of these situations if you're Tennessee on the road.
Because you're 2 for 51 on 3rd and 7 or longer. Out to the 40. 1 gain of 11. Culliver and Swearinger bring him down, but now Tennessee is 2 for 52.
When we talk about the depth problems about Tennessee being a young football team, don't get it twisted or mixed up. It's a young, talented, inexperienced football team. They can, you give them pump life into their lungs, they'll be around most of this football game.
Chad Cunningham with a good punt. Ace Sanders, a true freshman, fields it at the 17. Ace out to the 24-yard line, a 42-yard punt. And South Carolina will have the football again. 8:02 to go in the opening quarter. We're scoreless at Williams-Brice Stadium. Back in Columbia, South Carolina on a gorgeous day, scoreless. Now Tennessee just punted away, but a flag came in, and Tennessee, or South Carolina, was offsides defensively. So Tennessee decided to replay 4th down. It is 4th down and inches.
That'll get the old visor flying early.
And so now Tennessee will bring out their offense and Matt Sims and try to go for it. It's probably about maybe a foot and a half for the first down.
2 and 5 quarterback sneak right here with Matt Sims.
There he goes, trying to drive. He's got a bad wheel. I mean, he's got a bad sprained knee. Let's see where they spotted. According to our line, he didn't make it.
It's going to be very close. I don't think they got a good spot, and Derek Dooley doesn't either. And it looks as though South Carolina is going to get the football. The line's a little bit wider than the end of the chain.
Can't.
Well, all it's got to do is touch. They got it. Breathe a sigh of relief. You never want to give the football up on your side of the 50. Negative territory. And Matt Sims able to kind of push in there, gets behind Darren Gooch and Zach Fulton, Gerard Shaw.
Well, a fresh set of downs for Tennessee. Derek Dooley rolling the dice.
That's big.
Coming up with a first down at the 46-yard line. Here comes Jones in motion. A fake to him. Looking for the tight end. Nice move by Stocker. Gain of 4.
All 6'6", 253 pounds of Luke Stocker. Now that 20th reception on the season moves him 1 ahead. Actually, Gerald Jones had a couple of receptions who put him ahead of Luke Stocker. They were tied at 19 catches apiece coming into today's ball game.
Andre, just to give you a perspective, Alshon Jeffrey has 49 catches.
Hey, just double their stuff, and you still don't get to Alshon Jeffrey.
Under center on 2nd down. Here's the handoff. Poole had a 9-yard run to start the game. Since then, he has had no room to operate. Another loss of 2. DJ Swearinger comes up from a safety spot to make the play.
Yeah, Torrin Poole, the first running back since 07 to rush for 100+ yards against Alabama. And he did that last week, and the last time it was done was Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, the law firm from Ole Miss, and he did it against the Alabama defense.
3rd down and 7. Another flag comes in. There are a couple of flags in that South Carolina secondary.
They look at substitution. 12 players in the formation on the defense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And that'll drive a coach crazy. The penalties that take place before the ball snap, you often hear me say you can live with it as a coach when the ball snapped and their effort penalties, a holding, maybe a face mask accidentally done. But when they take place before substitutions from other coaches or a false start or an encroachment penalty, will drive you crazy.
Well, the 10th play of this drive coming up on 3rd down and a couple. Sims has time to throw, lofts it up, looking for more. He has it. He's to the 15-yard line. They will spot him at the 13. Chris Culliver was on coverage. 33 yards for the Volunteers.
Look at the touch that Matt Sims puts on this football to Denarius Moore. Right over the top where you can fade him away. You don't want to throw a line shot, something with some mustard on it. Just touch right there. Nice little touch pass over the top of Chris Culliver to Denarius Moore.
Whistles again, a flag down.
Dead ball foul. False start. Number 88, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
The tight end Luke Stocker trying to get a head start.
The big senior, he's really been consistent this year, Luke Stocker, all season long. He's a grab in now all 8 games this season for Tennessee.
So now it's first down and 15. Here's Poole, cuts it back. It has just been tough sledding. Lottie Ajaboy comes in to make the hit, and another carry for lost yardage.
And that one I'll put on Torrin Poole, because the blocking tells me that this is going outside. You see right there Stocker trying to turn Devin Taylor inside to allow Torrin Poole to the corner, to the edge of the formation. He stops and doesn't trust the blocking, and it winds up costing him in lost yardage.
That's 4 carries now where he's lost yardage today after a 9-yard gain on his opening carry. So now you're looking at second down and let's call it 16. A flag down again. Boy, this is... Derek Dooley told us a couple weeks ago, he says, if we're going to win, we need to win ugly. Well, it's been ugly here in the opening.
False start, number 74 offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Just making it a little tougher than you really have to, and if you're going to win ugly, this certainly, falls in that category. When you have take one step forward and a couple back. See the penalties right here early. 3 penalties already for Tennessee. A couple of those are on this drive, and then 4 for South Carolina for 19 yards.
The 2 least penalized teams in the conference going at it today. But you wouldn't know it by those numbers we just showed you. First down markers at the 3. Poole gets it to the 21-yard line. That's a 3-yard carry.
Torrin Poole kind of suffered from some patient problems early in the season. They thought he had gotten over, and he's been really solid. Mentioned the game last week of going over 100 yards against Alabama, but here early, he's got to be a little more patient. Now, this is a fast South Carolina defense, so you really have to trust what your offensive line is doing up front. See 1 and 3 in the red zone against Alabama. That's 3 points in 3 trips last week.
Sims swings it out.
Well, that could have hurt
to Torrin Poole, and Poole was popped, had nowhere to go, loses a yard, and now you're looking at 4th down.
Stephon Gilmore makes the tackle, is going to get credit for it, but Antonio Allen swung and missed. And if Torrin Poole, you go back and tell Matt Sims, hey, don't throw that one. Throw it over my head out of bounds. I'm not going anywhere. Half of South Carolina's defense has got to run and start at me.
Here's a left footer, Michael Pilardi, the freshman out of Coral Springs, Florida. 1 out of 3 in field goals as he replaces Daniel Lincoln, who's got a bad quad. From the far hash, the left footer splits the uprights from 39 yards out. So a new career high for Michael Pilardi and the first team on the board wearing the orange. Tennessee leads South Carolina 3-0 with 2:50 to go in the opening quarter.
Gingerbread man.
Good thing it's Halloween, or I think those people were crazy. They're probably
got
crazy
kind
anywhere.
of a Tennessee orange look to it, just a little bit.
So Tennessee will kick it off.
Nice drive there for Tennessee. 14 plays, 58 yards, 8 minutes, 52 seconds.
That's
Matt
the big
Sims,
number.
yeah, perfect on the drive. 5 of 5.
Bryce Sherman not over the 20-yard line to the 21, but South Carolina's last drive, Andre, looked good until they got close to the goal line.
Yeah, Stephen Garcia to Patrick DeMarco over the top, and then a nice pass to Tory Gurley, and then all of a sudden the penalty started for South Carolina, and then the turnover, now -7 on the season for the Gamecocks in the turnover department. Penalties and turnovers, that will start that Orange Crush talk that Kara talked about in our opening.
Out of the shotgun, Garcia. Trying to set up that middle screen to Lattimore. Marcus out over the 30. Powers his way to the 39-yard line. 17 yards on that pickup. Lattimore had 133 yards receiving against Kentucky before he went down with an injury a couple of weeks ago, and that's part of the reason why.
Yeah, 2 missed tackles. Nice job by Stephen Garcia. You see the eyes down the field and a nice little catchable pass to Marcus Lattimore. Now it's 1 missed tackle, 2 missed tackles, and I'm going to run over about 2 guys along the way as well.
Lattimore gets a couple. Marcus Thompson brings him down.
I've been really impressed. Watch film on Stephen Garcia and just kind of watching the change. You could sense it in the body language. I think he finally got it. You know, if this team was going to go to, you know, do some major things like compete for SEC championships, it was on him, on his shoulders to get better. And I think he's really matured into the quarterback position for Steve Spurrier.
Pressure comes. DeMarco finds a little hole in that defense, gets it into Tennessee territory at the 47. That's 11 yards on that gain, and you can move the chains for South Carolina. DeMarco playing both that tight end and fullback row. Actually got the start at fullback last week. Today's 1st and 10 line brought to you by Toyota. See your local Toyota dealer for deals that'll make you feel like an MVP. Lattimore out of the 42-yard line.
We talked to Coach Spurrier yesterday. He said when they played against Alabama, they fed him. He had 42 broken tackles in that game. Just, you know, you running through arm tackles and things of that sort. And they go back and the coaches watch the film, and Jay Graham, the running backs coach, actually charts that stuff. But that's amazing against a good, solid defense like Alabama.
Lattimore again, making a couple of guys miss, and takes a white jersey with him inside the 30. He picks up 15 on that carry before LaMarcus Thompson, the senior out of Lithonia, Georgia, finally brings him down.
Boy, nice block out on the edge by number 9, Ace Sanders, who once he frees and gets to the 3rd level, you see the block right there. Number 9 comes into your screen, and it allows Marcus Lattimore about an additional 5 yards, working against one of the best in the SEC in Jansen Jackson, their free safety at Tennessee.
Lake Charles, Louisiana. Garcia will throw it. Now he will shake and bake and completes the pass inside the 20. It goes to who else but Marcus Lattimore. That's a gain of 8.
When he's so athletic that you know that he can make plays like this. Now just get the stuff, to the game management type stuff, and not make the knucklehead decisions that he's made in the past. Right here, stepping up into the pocket where the protection is, and still with the eyes down the field and able to find a receiver.
Brian Maddox comes in, gets his first carry of the afternoon on 2nd down and 1. Maddox came up big for South Carolina last week in Vanderbilt with 146 yards on the ground in just 2.5 quarters. And speaking of quarters, that will do it for the first 15 minutes. And how about Tennessee coming on the road? The Young Vols with an early lead over the South Carolina Gamecocks. Back.
Russell Wilson flat out doing it for the Wolfpack this season. No, you didn't like that.
That stung a little bit.
That stung a little bit. Beat your alma mater.
Yeah, that hurt. So jump off the bandwagon now?
No, stay on it.
South Carolina with the football, beginning of the 2nd quarter. First play, nowhere to go. Lattimore back in the game. Malik Jackson drags him down for a loss of 2. Not many rushes that lose yardage for Marcus Lattimore. As you look at the SEC standing, South Carolina in the driver's seat. Florida also controls their own destiny because they meet each other, South Carolina and Florida, in a couple of weeks. And over on the other side, Auburn, Alabama. Boy, that game at the end of the year could be something special.
Got a little business to take care of now with a team in the orange and white in front of them. And leading this baby as we speak.
2nd down and 13. Garcia, pressure comes, going to the corner looking for Jeffrey, and ran out of room. Everybody goes flying into the hedges in the end zone. Jackson and Wagner, a little double coverage on Alshon Jeffrey.
They're trying to get to Stephen Garcia, a little double move from Alshon Jeffrey, but Brennis Wagner doesn't budge and is right there stride for stride. A little help from Jansen Jackson over the top. That's pretty much what it's going to take to stop that young man. 49 receptions coming into the game. He's already had one, so he's 50 catches on the season for Alshon Jeffery.
Had 158 yards and a touchdown last week against Vanderbilt. 9 receptions as well.
5 games out of the 7 he's played, he's gone over 100 yards.
They'll swing it near side. Here's Ace Sanders, a true freshman, lost the football, but got it back. That'll be a loss of a yard.
But you don't know how good a play that was from Herman Lathers, the sophomore outside linebacker, because Ace Sanders can flat out make you look bad. And to have a linebacker matched against him in space, this is an excellent job of tackling. Right there, breaks down and just lunges, actually pops the football out. That's a great job of tackling there.
40-yard field goal attempt by Spencer Lanning from the near hash. And that is dead solid, perfect from the senior out of Rock Hill, who's now 5 out of 7 in the field goal department this year. That's his first make in 4 games. And South Carolina has tied it up at 3. When we come back, we will take a look around the Southeastern Conference. A big one down in Jacksonville between the Gators and the Dogs.
A.J. Green back in the lineup playing well.
Torin Poole gets a handoff to the 30, gain of 4. You know, a lot of people saying that could be a little trap game, to use that term, that's been thrown around this week for Auburn going to Ole Miss.
Well, it's never easy in the SEC when you go on the road to an opponent's home field, and I think that's, they say it's worth 3 points. I think, you know, when you go down to Ole Miss, it's worth a little bit more than that. They'll be ready to play.
Gerald Jones in motion as Sims hit as he throws and looking down the field for Jones. He has a man. Gerald Jones to the 15 with a stiff arm. Dropped down at the 7-yard line. Excuse me, Denarius Moore on the catch. And how about the pickup of 66 yards as Sims got walloped?
Well, you heard me say earlier that Matt Sims is a tough football player. None other than right here, standing in there, eyes down the field. I know I'm going to take a shot. But boy, delivering a dime to his receiver, Denarius Moore. Look at this. I mean, unbelievable.
Now Tennessee.
I love that kind of play from the quarterback position. Standing in there knowing that you're going to take a hit and you don't flinch.
Took it this time and he flinched, dropped back at the 13-yard line. Cliff Matthews gets his second sack of the year, actually 2.5 sacks now for the senior defensive end.
Yeah, they've been waiting on him to come, and he had surgery in the spring on his shoulder. And he had surgery on his shoulder, and they took a harness off him today for the first time all season long, and he's got some freedom in his movements with his hands now and can shed offensive linemen. And there he was up the field to Matt Sims, forced him to step up when he slipped.
Sims throws it out of bounds. He was looking for his tight end, Luke Stocker. That'll bring up a 3rd down and goal.
Well, that sack. Tennessee started the season, even with a young offensive line. They allowed 2 sacks in their first 2 games, and then get this, Dave, 20 in their next 4. Of course, 2 sacks last week to Alabama.
Take a look at how Tennessee's doing in the red zone, brought to you by Verizon Wireless. This is a team that is last in the league in touchdown percentage as well. 41%, 7 touchdowns and 17 opportunities. They're looking at a 3rd and goal now from the 12-yard line. Sims dropped again.
Guess who?
Cliff Matthews, a loss of 6.
They should have shed that harness a long time ago. That kind of keeps.
Timeout, Tennessee.
Got a timeout, so they're going to take away the sack of Cliff Matthews. But I'll tell you what, they had that harness on him that kind of kept his shoulder in place and really restricted the movement of his arm. And he took it off today, and the doctors finally cleared him of it. He looks like a different football player.
If nothing else, Cliff Matthews might be gaining a little bit of confidence at that defensive end position.
Boy, look at that. I mean, you talk about that's a grown man coming off the edge right there.
Hard to hear a whistle with 80,000 people making as much noise as they were a moment ago. But this our Haviland defensive shield. Look at the FBS leaders in terms of sacks. South Carolina sitting first in the conference, 5th in the country.
Added one today, and they only had 27 sacks the entire year last season. Already at 25 with a good portion of the season ahead of them.
All right, 3rd down and 12 again.
Well, keep your eyes on that big guy, number 83.
Guess who? Cliff Matthews, loose football, and Carolina has it.
3rd down situations, Dave. There is a sense of urgency. You're going to get tremendous pass rush because of the down and distance, or you're going to see pressure. So you got to get back, get set, get it out right now. If you hold it, that happens to you as a young quarterback watching this game. Get back, get set, 3rd down. It's got to come out now.
Well, the play is being reviewed to see if it is a fumble or not. It looked as though Sims might have had his hands on that football and had possession of it.
I don't think there's a question of whether it's a fumble. It's if it's a fumble and a partial return to the fumble, or whether whoever recovered it was already on the ground. Devin Taylor, the defensive end from the other side. Boy, Cliff Matthews there. He convinced the doctors that he was 100%. See, there's the fumble. Now they're trying to see where the ball was recovered. Matt Sims scraping for it. Never really possesses the football long enough for him to be ruled down.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. 1st down.
It's a fumble and now a turnover with some fumble return yardage added on there for Devin Taylor.
But how about Cliff Matthews? You know,
what a player.
He's got a forced fumble, got a couple of sacks, got a couple tackles for loss today, and the young man has really been just trying to find it with that bad shoulder.
Well, a lot of teams have been chipping at him, and that particular play, there's no running back or tight end to that side. He just had one-on-one
well, there will be
with
now.
Dallas Thomas, and he wins that battle.
Boy, Tennessee had a golden opportunity. 1st down and goal inside the 10, and end up losing the football. 4-man front by Tennessee. That handoff to Lattimore. That may be a yard.
And Dooley's telling him, look, you got to get the football out of there. There's the conversation. That tells him, I understand, but the ball, you got to understand the situation as a quarterback. Get back, get set, it's coming out. And as in the huddle, you're telling your receivers, hey, speed this baby up. It's 3rd down. They know we're passing. Let's get into your route and get out of it, and I'm going to get rid of the football.
The fake reverse. Lattimore will keep it, and Marcus has a lot of running room. Down to the 40-yard line. A 34-yard pickup. Brent Brewer brings him down. What a huge gain for South Carolina. And how about this? Lattimore already to 73 yards on the ground.
Boy, great block by number 77, Garrett Chisholm. Their left guard to free Marcus Lattimore. And he's coming right back and giving us some more.
Quick handoff to Lattimore. Gets another 5 yards.
You know, I don't know if I've ever seen Coach Spurrier, and I've done a lot of games with him as a head coach, more excited about a player than Marcus Lattimore. I mean, you start talking about Marcus Lattimore, his eyes lights up, and he'll tell you he's a pretty good one. It just goes on and on about his freshman tailback at South Carolina.
Garcia will keep it. 1st down at the 25-yard line.
What a good read.
That's 11 more yards. Eric Gordon brings him down.
And a play call. Everybody in the building. thinking about Marcus Lattimore, the previous 2 carries for South Carolina, and then Stephen Garcia sees the flow of the defense. They go with Marcus Lattimore. He's able to keep it himself. He's an athletic quarterback himself in his own right, and picks up the first down.
Lattimore went left, Garcia went right.
No delay though.
And they got 3 yards
yeah, the
out
mix
of it.
up and okay, I know which way it's being blocked. The youngster may have gone the wrong way. It's get right into where the blocks are taking place. Right there, you miss it, follow right in there. I'm going to go right where Marcus should have gone and able to still pick up some positive yards on the play.
Second down now.
Tennessee showing blitz right here off the edge. Here it comes.
Gamecocks pick it up. Pass is caught down around the 15-yard line. D.L. Moore with the reception.
And that's the sense of urgency at the quarterback position that we just talked about. You sense the blitz, maybe even a check here from Stephen Garcia. Get back, and the football is out and delivered before the pressure arrives in your lap.
Side handoff. He gets 2, maybe 3 yards down to the 10-yard line. Smith with the tackle, the true freshman.
Coach Spurrier talked to us about maybe turning over play calling duties to G.A. Mangus, and he really trusts him in what he's doing. So, Coach, you know, you got a pretty good string of games coming up. Tennessee, you still got Florida, you got Clemson on the schedule. You know, you concerned a little bit with all the important games coming up of turning it over. And he said he didn't flinch. No, he trusts G.A. Mangus.
Here's Lattimore powering his way down to the 5. So that'll be 3rd down and 5.5 yards now for the Gamecocks. Gerald Williams with the tackle from his defensive end position.
Still looks like you see G.A. Mangus right there signaling stuff in, and Coach Spurrier there with his kind of relaxing, taking the game in. Don't know how long that's going to last, though.
Lattimore. First down at the 1-yard line. Chris Walker finally brings him down.
Well, we are going to talk about Marcus Lattimore for a lot of years. You see the power, just a gifted football player. Great pad level, runs with those pads over his feet, and every time he makes the contact, the pile goes forward.
Did he get in? Yes, he did. Lattimore from 1 yard out. His 11th rushing touchdown of the season.
And they go right behind T.J. Johnson, Garrett Chisholm, the left guard, and Jarrell King, the senior left tackle. They get tremendous push to escort Marcus Lattimore into the end zone.
Lattimore now 15 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown with 6:40 to go here in the second quarter. Spencer Lanning on to attempt the point after. It is up, and it is good. For South Carolina, able to pick up another touchdown in the red zone. Their lead is 7. Marcus Lattimore, the true freshman. Boy, is he good. Well, they are having a good time here at Williams-Brice Stadium, which was initially built back in the 1930s. South Carolina right now leading by a touchdown, 6:40 to go. Second quarter football. Nice drive by the Gamecocks. 10 plays, 75 yards. Just over 4.5 minutes off the clock. Let's see what Tennessee can do with it. Love a nice return out of David Oku right now. Oku out to the 30-yard line. It's a pretty good start coming up for Tennessee as this offense comes back on the field. Time for us to send it down and check in with Kara.
Well, guys, I asked Coach Lorenzo Ward yesterday, who is the player on the defense who, if he gets started, will rub off on his teammates? And he identified senior defensive end Cliff Matthews. He said Cliff is not a talker. He's just 100-mile-an-hour guy. And when he gets going, the defense follows suit. We will see what that means for Tennessee's offense after that last drive.
I think it trickled over to South Carolina's offense as well. Some of the kind of its way to the offensive side of the ball.
Rick Rogers, he's on a little reverse first down out near the 45-yard line, actually 46-yard line. Give him 16 on that pickup. So the true freshman out of Calhoun, Georgia, comes up with a nice play.
And a nice play, misdirection, an aggressive, fast defense, and you get him going one way. And Rick Rogers, this is a nice play call for him. He's a strong, physical wide receiver that you can use on end arounds.
First down and 10 from the 46-yard line. Sims has it knocked out of his hands. They're saying loose football. I didn't see anybody say incomplete pass. Nobody blew the whistle.
Nobody blew the whistle, and they're going to have to talk about this, maybe even a review to come in. And it looked like Matt Sims, his arm was coming forward. They finally ruled it an incomplete pass, but it's Devin Taylor who led this South Carolina defense in sacks coming into this game. But you see it right here, the arm coming forward and the ball being hit as the arm's coming forward. So nice call by the officials.
So incomplete pass. It's second down and 10.
Well, but it could be a long day for Matt Sims if they don't help him out on these edge rushers.
Sims throws. That pass is incomplete. He was looking for Michael Rivera. Crowd booing, a little extracurricular activity behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, we talked about Cliff Matthews just matched against Dallas Thomas one-on-one with a sacked fumble on the previous drive. And then that last play with Devin Taylor, they're trying to block him with Michael Rivera. And you cannot make a living in this football game with those two guys, those two edge rushers, one-on-one, especially trying to block them with a tight end.
Sims over the middle, pass is caught. That'll be a Tennessee first down. Denarius Moore with another grab. Stephen Gilmore brings him down. Gain of 12.
Well, that's a nice job of standing in there, delivering the football on time. Maybe takes another hit here, but working back to the quarterback. And what I like about that is the placement of the football. You see the defender coming inside, ball's thrown on the outside shoulder, so you can't even make a play to get a hand in there to knock the football away. Nice, accurate pass from Matt Sims.
Here's Rogers on another little end around. Derrick inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. Devontae Holloman brings him down, but 14 more yards for Rogers and the Volunteers.
Yeah, we just talked about him, that being a role in which they can use him. Nice job right there. You don't have to get a knockout block as a quarterback. Just shield the defender away and allow Derrick Rogers to turn up the field. And he was a guy who was headed to Georgia before changing his mind and choosing Tennessee. Coaches believe he's a special player. He's got all the tools to be a star here in the SEC.
Rajon Neal in at tailback. He will get this carry and has a pretty big hole. He'll take it down to the 27-yard line. Quinn Smith brings him down. Gain of 3.5, maybe 4. Tennessee basketball fans better take note. You can catch your Volunteers as they compete in a doubleheader featuring Auburn, Rutgers, and Pittsburgh in the DirecTV SEC Big East Invitational December 11th at Consol Energy Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. For more, visit SECBigEastInvitational.com.
Kentucky, Notre Dame, Wildcats going to have another good basketball team this year.
Out of the eye. Here's Neal. He's got some running room to the 15. Down to the 14. Quinn Smith, another tackle, but that's 9 more yards.
Just take your hat off to Derek Dooley and this Tennessee football team. They got punched in the face on that previous drive from South Carolina. A sack and a fumble. They go down and score a touchdown. You don't blink. Matt Sims leading them down the field. They're substituting Rajon Neal now in at tailback for Torin Poole, and seems to have given the Volunteers a spark.
Not much happening for Neal on that carry. Gain of 2 on the play.
Denarius Moore, big catch for a first down when they needed it. And the offensive line giving some protection to Matt Sims at quarterback.
Moore, by the way, already 110 yards receiving on 3 catches. Rodgers, 2 rushes, 31 yards for Tennessee. As Torin Poole back in the game. Sims hit again in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Luke Stocker with his first touchdown catch of the season.
Boy, and a nice job standing in there, toughing things out, taking another shot. The edge rushers, they get pushed in the middle as well, and an accurate pass right over Rodney Polk, the middle linebacker, to Luke Stocker for 6.
Pilardi's point after will tie it up. Tennessee not backing away on the road. This young Volunteer club has tied it up with 3:17 to go in the opening half. We are back at Williams-Brice Stadium. Dave Neal, Andre Ware, Kara Capuano down the sidelines. Glad to be with us because Tennessee has come to play today here at Williams-Brice Stadium. Last touchdown, Andre, break it down.
Well, you got the fullback here and Channing Fugate, who's going to come in motion and come underneath. That's going to occupy the backside linebacker, who's Tony Slaughter. As well, Denarius Moore has the attention of the safety backside. You get Rodney Polk passing it off to the safety, and Luke Stocker does an excellent job working the middle of the field between the safeties, and then the accurate pass from Matt Sims to top it off.
66th career reception for Luke Stocker and his 7th career touchdown. Here's Bryce Sherman trying to get some room, running clear across the field, bumped out of bounds at the 28-yard line by Eric Gordon, a 27-yard return. And here comes this South Carolina offense that scored a touchdown on their last drive. But can't say enough about Tennessee's offense. Matt Sims today, by the way, 8 of 11, a $144 and a touchdown.
I'll tell you what, it's been an impressive first half for Tennessee offensively, and in particular Matt Sims, but spreading the football around. He's gone to Stocker on a couple of occasions, Gerald Jones, Denarius Moore. So he's moving the football around offensively.
And a couple of key plays to Rick Rodgers on a couple of end rounds, picking up some big yards. Here's Garcia out of the shotgun. Nowhere to go, and he's dropped back at the 26-yard line. That'll be a loss of 3 on the play. Malik Jackson hustling and bringing him down.
Yeah, they say he's playing the best of all the defensive tackles right now, and they moved him inside from defensive end where he was earlier in the season, transferred in from USC over to Tennessee.
He's funny. He says moving from outside to inside. He says now it's like playing inside a phone booth.
Yeah, it's a little more freedom out on that edge. You got guys, you're making contact with 2 or 3 defenders every play.
Garcia under pressure, making some people miss, and finally dropped back at the original line of scrimmage. Nick Revesz will pick up the tackle, his 3rd of the game, and that'll be a 1-yard gain when it's all said and done.
And Nick Revesz, the heart and soul of that Tennessee defense. He had 11 tackles last week against Alabama.
Timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. We're tied at 10 in Columbia. In 8 games this year, and right now they're playing pretty well, like they have done many times before in the first half. Tied at 10. Coming up at halftime, we will send it to Dari and Matt, our Cellular South halftime report. Talk about Auburn heading to Ole Miss, Florida, Georgia. Look ahead, and of course some top 25 highlights as well. That's all coming up in 2 minutes and 26 seconds on our game clock. 3rd down and 10 for the Gamecocks, who have been stuck in the mud on this drive.
54% on the year on 3rd downs.
That's one of the reasons why you've got outstanding receivers. D.L. Moore, another tall, lanky receiver, 6'4" with the grab over the 5'10" Eric Gordon. 19 yards on that pitch and catch.
His 7th catch of the season, and they go with a little cluster there and free him on the underneath route. You see it here, the bunch formation. They escape from it, and he's coming free over the middle. Nice catch.
Another throw to the outside. It's D.L. Moore again. Jansen Jackson brings him down, but that'll be a first down. They'll spot it at the 40. That's 11 yards.
So many big receivers. D.L. Moore, 6'4", Alshon Jeffrey at 6'4". You got Torrey Gurley, a 6'5" receiver, and Demario Bennett at 6'2". Ace Sanders, just 5'7", is the smaller guy, but he can work inside, and when he catches it, he is gone.
Lattimore hit right at the line of scrimmage. Gerald Williams, the 6'3", 250-pound junior, laid the hammer on Lattimore.
Well, that's why Lattimore makes them so good offensively, is because you have to commit an extra defender to the box if they're running the football so well, and that opens the things up on the outside for the Gurleys, Jeffries, and DJ Moores of this offense for South Carolina.
Garcia will stand in the pocket, throw incomplete.
Herman Lathers with the pressure on Steven Garcia and forcing that throw a little bit early.
Well, Garcia looking a lot over toward D.L. Moore's side of the field. Today's First and 10 line brought to you by Toyota. See your local Toyota dealer for deals that will make you feel like an MVP. Toyota, moving forward. 3rd down and 9.
Another long yardage situation for South Carolina, and Tennessee hoping to get off the field here.
Set up a screen, and Tennessee was all over it. The Volunteers come up big and stop South Carolina. Let's see what they do here on 4th down from the 38. Looks like the kick team might be making their way out on the field.
Yeah, and Victor Thomas, the senior defensive tackle, gets free and kind of disrupts the timing of the screen that Steven Garcia was trying to set up. So excellent job by Tennessee, very much in this football game with 1:14 left here in the first half.
Instead of attempting a 56-yard field goal, here's South Carolina, and Spencer Lanning will punt it away. And that'll be fielded down around the 2-yard line. A 38-yard punt by Lanning. Steve Spurrier saying he needed Lanning to keep it out of the end zone. He's been punting a bunch of them this year in the end zone. Not that time. Good work by the senior punter. Gorgeous day in Columbia. We've got ourselves a pretty good ball game, but Tennessee in some trouble here with South Carolina having 3 timeouts left. They've got to move the football.
And I tell you what you don't want to do is turn the football over. You cannot put it on the ground here.
Torn Poole will be the tailback in the I formation. We'll get the handoff. Get a couple. Be shy of the 5-yard line, though. Devin Taylor, that very talented defensive end, 6'7", 250 in on the tackle.
They go with the experience, and Torren Poole, the football in the hands of the junior in South Carolina. Dave elects to take one of those timeouts that you talked about, and they could force a punt here and still have some decent field position in which to operate just before halftime.
Well, we've got more exciting SEC football action coming your way next Saturday as Urban Meyer and the Florida Gators invade Nashville to take on the Commodores in a key SEC East matchup. That's Florida at Vanderbilt next Saturday at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central Time right here on the SEC Network. As you look at the East standings, there's Florida at 2-3 right now. They've lost 3 straight games. They're, of course, taking on Georgia down in Jacksonville. Vanderbilt, meanwhile, Robbie Caldwell decided to make a change midseason with his offensive coordinator, so a lot of things happening around the Southeastern Conference. See what happens with Tennessee right here on 2nd down and 8. Here's Poole out over the 5. He's close to the 9-yard line. The line to make, though, is just about the 12.
What does he run hard? I mean, you talk about knowing where he's going, hits the hole, and has the ability to cut backside if nothing is there. And he's going to like the way he moves within that offensive scheme of Tennessee's. Another timeout being spent by Steve Spurrier and his football team, trying to preserve a little time here to get the football back with a stop on 3rd down and just about 3 yards.
Well, that'll leave South Carolina with 1 timeout. Tennessee also has 1, but 3rd down, and we'll call it about 3.5 to make the 1st down. If not, South Carolina could have pretty good field position with I would say roughly around 50 seconds.
And you know what, you got to take your hat off to Derek Dooley, because they are thin in numbers. And when you talk about having to play as many freshmen as he's played, who's the coach that said for every freshman you play, you might as well count it as a loss? Well, he's played 23 of them, and he's a couple of years into losses.
Throw near. What a catch by Gerald Jones. That'll be just enough for the 1st down out around the 13, maybe 14-yard line. That is a big-time catch from your senior out of Oklahoma City.
Well, nice chest move here in the game of chest between the Volunteers and the Gamecocks, trying to preserve the time on the clock, and now it switches in terms of who has the upper hand at Tennessee and South Carolina. Right now, Tennessee just wanting to, they're okay with going into halftime with this tied up score, which I agree totally. You don't want to keep running plays here, bad field position, you turn the ball over and give up an easy score. I'm just fine with what Derek Dooley's decision in this case is.
Well, Tennessee down 13-10 at home at Alabama last Saturday. They ended up losing 41-10. We'll see what happens here. We're tied at 10 as Tennessee and South Carolina both make their way toward the locker room. And let's check in with Kara, who has Coach Dooley alongside. We are underway. That kick will sail down to the 2-yard line. Eric Gordon has it out to the 25-yard line, so Tennessee will have the first possession. As we take a look at our first half stats, brought to you by Crystal, nothing like it. Look at the rushing yards, 105, 90 of those for Marcus Lattimore, pretty even in the pass yards. Penalties, big issue in that first half.
Yeah, it really was. And I think if Tennessee's offensive line can hold up the secondary of South Carolina, that's a problem area. 104 in the entire country in pass defense, giving up 252 on the year per game. They can protect Matt Sims. The Volunteers going to be in this football game.
Gerald Jones in motion, he will get the pass. Jones hit by 3 Gamecock defenders, a gain of 4. DJ Swearinger, the first one on the spot. Time to check in with Kara. Kara, what do you have?
Well, guys, I asked Coach Spurrier what he thought of the first half, and he said these two teams are playing about the same right now. I said, what would you like to see improve? And he thought about it, and he said offense, defense. He just said these teams are playing the same, and you know, when Steve Spurrier doesn't have much to say, he's got a lot on his mind, guys.
Well, I'd love to have been a fly on the wall during halftime in there.
Sims will throw. He won't throw because he'll get hit and drop. Loose football. He just held onto the ball a little too long. The second time today he's done that. Antonio Allen hit him, and the Gamecocks come up with the loose pigskin.
You got to know if one guy passes you up, Dave, when you step up in the pocket, either be prepared to run the football or get rid of it. Right here, excellent job. Sliding in the pocket, steps up. Now, that guy that passed you up initially, he's fighting to get back to you. Ball's got to be gone. And that's the conversation that he's having with the coaches over there, holding the football a little bit too long on both fumbles for Matt Sims.
What's the clock? I mean, what's the second?
The clock is when you step up. Now I know it's got to be in a position to throw it, get rid of it, or I'm going to pull it down and commit to running the football. But once you slide up, you got to feel that and get rid of it.
Garcia. That ball's nearly picked off. He was looking for DeMarco in the middle of the field. It's incomplete. Pressure comes from Tennessee's front 4.
Yeah, he throws basically into double coverage there. No one open, but he feels the pressure. That's something that you just learn with experience. You start to feel the pressure and know when the football has got to come out. And then third down and long situations or obvious passing downs, you know that your game has to speed up a little bit to make quicker decisions to get the football out.
Play clock at 7. Garcia out of a shotgun. That pass caught incomplete. One hopped over there to Alshon Jeffrey. Alshon today, in terms of receiving, has yet to pick up a catch. How about that?
Just a little bit low, and Steven Garcia knew he had him. Nice little push off there. I like that. A little Michael Irvin move. Just creating a little space between the corner and himself. But nice job by the officials to see that one.
Need to correct myself. Wasn't on the stat sheet I have, but Alshon did have a reception back very beginning of this game for 5 yards. Third down and 10. Garcia trying to buy a little time. He's got plenty of running room. He's to the 20, and a collision at the 15 and knocked out of bounds. And there is a flag. That could be
extra. When he was already out of bounds, back turned to the defense, and looked like Malik Jackson's the guy that he and Malik Jackson's the guy that gets
out of bounds. Personal foul, late hit, number 97, defense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Marcus Thompson involved as well. Nice job, but that's what I'm talking about right here, Davis. When you commit to running it, if you're forced to step up and you still feel the pressure, and now I got to take off with a football, protect myself right there as I'm going out of bounds, and a little bit extra from Malik Jackson.
First and goal. Lattimore down to the 6. Give him a couple on the play. Marcus Thompson with his 5th stop this afternoon. The senior linebacker out of Lithonia, Georgia.
Really needing to hold to just a field goal attempt here. Going to ask this defense to do so again for Derek Dooley. This hold to a South Carolina field goal would be a major get for the Volunteers.
Garcia will keep it. Garcia, they will spot him down just inside the 1. Jansen Jackson with the hit, a 4-yard pickup, and now it'll be third down and inches.
He took off then. He moved like he was a tailback trying to get into the end zone.
Quick snap by the Gamecocks. Did he get in? No signal yet. Now they say yes, he did. Touchdown, Steven Garcia and South Carolina.
Two touchdowns, Dave, on 2 turnovers. 2 fumbles. And then now South Carolina and Steven Garcia, quarterback sneak for a touchdown, puts him ahead.
Spencer Lanning on to attempt the point after. Boy, that turnover could be devastating. Last week, Alabama took the opening drive of the second half and marched it down the field. This time, Tennessee helps out their opponent. South Carolina's lead is 7. Gamecock fans having a good time now as they take an early third quarter lead, 17-10. Garcia with the 1-yard rushing touchdown, and for Steven Garcia, that is his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. Garcia today also 31 yards on the ground, 7 carries, 10 out of 17, 130 yards with a pick.
Anxious to see how Tennessee's offense responds this drive.
Here's Gord. He stops shy of the 20-yard line. Good coverage by the Gamecock special teams. Well, we'd like to recognize our friends at Allstate for their charitable contributions across the country. Since 2005, Allstate has donated more than $2.2 million through the Good Hands Field Goal Net program to benefit University General Scholarship funds. Tyler Bray making his way onto the field. Andre, you thought that might be the case. after a couple of...
Well, after the first exchange between with the first sack fumble with Matt Sims from Cliff Matthews, and then another one there that cost you early. Just a matter of time.
That handoff goes to Torin Poole. Roddy Ajaboy brings him down. No gain on the play.
Tyler Bray, a 50% passer, 144 yards and 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. He's really improved, though, since his arrival at Tennessee. The coaches, we talk to them about him, they get really excited. Accurate in practice is what they tell us, and seems to really be picking up the offense and his game along with it.
Empty set. Picked off. This will be returned for a touchdown. Devin Taylor. Give him 6. 23 yards on the return.
Just stared it down. Stared the receiver down and tried to go there. And Devin Taylor dropping from his defensive end position. Watch number 98. You see him there. Little zone blitz. Drops into coverage. And tough for a true freshman quarterback to see that, read it, recognize it. Well, that's a nice job by Ellis Johnson, the defensive coordinator, assistant head coach for South Carolina, realizing a youngster coming in. They want to get him an easy throw early. And they go with a zone drop from the defensive end right here. Devin Taylor, the pick of Tyler Bray for 6, puts Carolina up 24-10.
Dancing in the aisles at Williams-Brice Stadium as South Carolina has scored twice in the first 3 minutes and 20 seconds of the third quarter. Let's go back to that last one that was intercepted.
Yeah, Devin Taylor's here. For a young quarterback, it's hard to recognize a guy dropping into coverage, trying to get to the slant route, and just watch him drop, starts up, then drops back, and it's only a 2-man rush. And right there, right in, playing right into the hands of Devin Taylor. Excellent call by Ellis Johnson, who calls their defensive signals.
So Tyler Bray now 3 interceptions on the season for the youngster.
Well, he's probably over there telling him, Coach, I've never seen that look before, and right, he probably has.
Well, he's 6'7", 250. It's hard to miss.
Got to see him.
Right. Rick Rogers will take a knee in the end zone, and Tennessee will bring it out to the 20, and looks like Bray will come back on for another series. Certainly a true freshman. You know, it's one of those things. Do you go back to the guy who's taking most of your snaps, or possibly do you damage the confidence of a youngster, a true freshman?
Well, I don't think Matt Sims played his way out of this football game.
No.
And it was just some mistakes that frustrate a coach, and you can't hold on to the football, and I think that's what led to the change. We were going to see Tyler Bray at some point in this game. I'm just not sure we were going to see him that early with in a 10-10 tie.
Little toss back to Rogers trying to get the corner. That didn't happen. Tony Straughter along with Cliff Matthews.
They may have gone to the well a little bit too much on that little end around to Derek Rogers. Had some success on 2 different calls, and then they go back to it. Tyler Bray's got to do a little bit better job of getting a block for Derek Rogers.
Derek 6'3", 215, true freshman.
Right out of high school. Who has that kind of size coming out of high school as a receiver?
That handoff goes to Torin Poole. Gain of 5.
Got to help him out a little bit, make it a manageable 3rd down situation here. Actually, 3rd and a long 5 for Tennessee. Can expect maybe some pressure here. Not going to allow him to sit back there and sort some things out. We've got 2 guys that have a lot of energy in Devin Taylor and Cliff Matthews on the edges.
Gray slings it near side. Pass is caught. Another outstanding grab by Gerald Jones. That's a gain of 8 and a first down. That is 2 really solid catches from the senior.
Yeah, he got good pressure, South Carolina, from Melvin Ingram, who checks in pass rushing situations. They can play him at end, and they can play him as well at defensive tackle. Nice job by Bray of kind of sliding away from the pressure and still the eyes down the field and able to locate Gerald Jones for the first down.
Bray throws it out of bounds right as he was getting taken to the ground by Gilmore and Matthews.
You can tell the coaches' play calling's changed a little bit from Jim Chaney, whereas they're trying to get an easy little slant route to Denarius Moore. It gets picked off by Devin Taylor. Smash routes where you have a guy in the flat real quick and a corner route behind it. Very easy for a quarterback to read that out, get it out in a hurry. The pressure forces Tyler Bray to make a quicker decision than he wanted to.
A couple of tight ends in the game. Single sent back is Torin Poole. He'll run the left side. No room. Josh Dickerson, the middle linebacker. A loss of 1. Antonio Allen also comes up. The spur to lend a helping hand.
And Dickerson makes all the calls in the middle. Shaq Wilson out. Played with Tony Slaughter, the outside linebacker at Georgia Military Academy. Yeah, they can really move around in there and make plays, and you saw him there, and the speed that he brings to this South Carolina defense in the middle.
4-man look on 3rd down by the South Carolina defense. Bray slings it down the sideline. Pass is caught. Denarius Moore with a big catch and a first down inside South Carolina territory. 26 yards. Culliver with the tackle.
Well, Bray can throw it now. There's no limitations to him getting the ball and hitting some holes on the field that they're not used to getting to. He's got a big arm. Was an Elite 11 quarterback out of high school, and finds Denarius Moore behind the corner and between the safety and corner to that side along the sideline. And once again, Tennessee moving the chains.
First down and 10. Jones in motion, and a timeout taken by Tennessee. Boy, Derek Dooley hot.
Full snap. Timeout. Tennessee. First charge, timeout of the half.
8:46 on the game clock. Tennessee driving. And I would say this for Tyler Bray. The interception return for a touchdown. Didn't see the young man.
Yeah. And when we talked to Derek Dooley earlier in the week, he said, look, I'm looking for one of these two guys, whether it's Matt Sims or Tyler Bray, to take the reins and really run with it. Prove to me that I don't have to take you off the football field. And one of these guys to win the job outright and then separate from the other. And that's what we're seeing right now. They're kind of neck and neck and waiting on one of them to really make the leap.
Well, Regions Bank would like to recognize Torin Poole from Tennessee and Stephen Gilmore from South Carolina as the Regions Scholar Athletes of the game in recognition of these athletes' performance on the field and in the classroom. Regions is proud to contribute $1,000 to the Tennessee and South Carolina General Scholarship Funds on their behalf. Congratulations from Regions Bank, the official bank of the SEC.
They're going to need Torin Poole before this one's over. Need that punch in the running game, especially with a young quarterback and Tyler Bray in the game, to take a little bit of heat off the youngster.
Rick Rogers getting another carry. Not much happening there. Hakeem Auguste with the tackle.
Okay, you know what that play would do? You know where it would go if I were the offensive coordinator? Right there.
It worked a couple times, though.
It's done.
Okay.
Right here. Just keep tearing it up, baby.
They got a beat on that now.
That one's going off somewhere. Stop running it. It's not working anymore.
Yeah, they figured that out. But it worked early, though. It was a good play early.
Yeah, and they worked once.
Right. Yeah.
Or twice, and you got to give it up. You give it up. Like we put it in, it worked. So be it.
That's a movement up front. Zach Fulton, the true freshman.
Head ball foul. False start. Number 72, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
So you have 3 true freshmen on the offensive line. You have a true freshman quarterback.
Tailback at times.
Rajon Neal, and you got Hunter and Rogers have been playing a lot. 2 receivers that are true freshmen. Your fullback is a true freshman. I mean,
we'll be good later because of it, but it is a tough way to make a living right now. The present day and age for Tennessee, a lot of youth.
There's Neal. No gain on 2nd down and 15. It'll be Demario Jeffrey leading the way for the Gamecocks.
Oh, here's where it gets interesting. In South Carolina, they're so good at getting to the passer with just the 4 defensive linemen, where they don't really have to blitz you and bring pressure, and they can still disrupt you with 2 outstanding defensive ends. They move Melvin Ingram inside and get even more push. It's a luxury.
3rd down and 15. Here comes some pressure. Tennessee picks it up nicely. Long throw. Jones was open, but Bray overthrew him. Gerald Jones was there for the reception. Nobody around him for at least 5 yards.
Yeah, Denarius Moore cleared it out on a fly route down the sideline. He's going to clear it out for number 4, Gerald Jones. And you see him here, a nice little stick inside. And the defender fell down, which allowed him to, it was DJ Swearinger who fell down. And it just overshoots Gerald Jones.
Chad Cunningham to punt it away for Tennessee. Ace Sanders stands back at the 10. Good high, tight spiral. Fair catch called for. Sanders will let it hit at the 3, and it'll bounce into the end zone. And, of course, South Carolina brings it out to the 20-yard line. It's a 14-point lead for South Carolina here in Columbia. When we come back,
Kara Capuano welcoming you back to Williams-Brice Stadium. 24-10 in the 3rd quarter. South Carolina leading Tennessee. All season long, Champion has been showcasing the tradition and history of the SEC. Today, we take a trip on the Cockaboose Railroad. Not far from the main entrance, 22 cabooses line a dormant track and create a rather elegant tailgating experience. They're all identical outside, but on the inside, they've got running water, cable TV, climate control, fine furnishings, and the lucky owners of these cockabooses, guys, figure, why tailgate when you can railgate?
Pretty good place to watch a game, to
nice
get
my
ready
house.
for a game.
My wife might say, how do we get one of those? I won't have an answer for that. First down. Here's Lattimore out over the 25 to the 26.
You're not going to get me in trouble right along with you. Oh, boy. Boy, he has been outstanding. Marcus Lattimore, first chance we get to see him live. You watch the film and you watch the highlights and you ooh and ah, but boy, he's even better up close.
Boy, Tennessee read that well. Lattimore got hit behind the line of scrimmage. Malik Jackson with another impressive play. The former defensive end has moved inside here the last few weeks and is playing like a guy who's pretty comfortable in there despite giving up some pounds. He's not one of those 315-pounders in there. Malik just 265.
Yeah, he had a career high in tackles last week against Alabama with 6, and they're fighting and they're undersized for a defensive tackle in the SEC.
There's Lattimore out near the 29-yard line. Jansen Jackson with that tackle. I think that'll be a little bit shy. As we take a look at our game summary, brought to you by Woodman of the World. Davion Andre Ware, Kara Capuano, as we were tied at 10 at halftime. Tennessee moving the football, looking pretty good, but a turnover early cost them a quick touchdown. And South Carolina's taken a 14-point lead.
Yeah, and I think the turnovers have been the difference. They led to 14 points. Just about a half-yard short, Steve Spurrier makes the decision to punt the football, and it's a good decision. They stop you here, and you're basically surrendering points. They're at point-blank range.
Eric Gordon calls for the fair catch at the 30. 42-yard punt with no return, so Tennessee's offense back on the field. Steve Spurrier trying to take this club to an SEC championship, but of course he had some pretty good success as a player in his own right a Heisman Trophy winner down at the University of Florida. Of course, after a stint at Duke where he won an ACC championship, comes back home, leads the Gators to a national championship. Danny Wuerffel would also win a Heisman Trophy. Danny Wuerffel, boy, he could sling it around.
Yes, he could. And the only coach, the only person to ever win a Heisman Trophy and then coach a Heisman Trophy winner, Steve Spurrier.
It was interesting, Andrew. Very lucky yesterday in our meetings as we take a look at our Nissan Heisman moment with Spurrier and that 1966 Heisman Trophy winner. Near the bottom line you were just talking about, but yesterday in his office listening to you two guys, it's a special treat. Now we have these meetings all the time, but sitting in a room with two Heisman Trophy winners talking about the game and how it's changed, neither one of you guys, it's amazing, like taking shotgun snaps. You were both in agreement. As a player, you hated it.
As a player, you prefer to be under center, and we both agree that the defense changes so much. If it steps offline, you really can't. You lose sight of coverage. Nice job by Tyler Bray of sliding away from a rusher and then finding Channing Fugate. Ladi Ajiboye was the defender that brought the pressure to Tyler Bray, but been impressed with him. I know he's thrown the pick for 6, but he's come back from it.
It was great to see Coach Spurrier get up out of his chair.
Oh, yeah.
Get down like he was 18 years old
Like
again.
he's gonna take a snap.
Well, he couldn't quite get down like he was 18 anymore. I was like, don't get hurt, Coach.
That's when you need one of those centers that's about 6'5", big old high butt where you just put your hands down there. That's funny. Oh, man.
Here's Bray. Dancing around, trying to get out of the grass. Can't do it. Melvin Ingram, who's got a broken hand, able to come up with the sack and a loss of 4. One of 3 defensive linemen for the Gamecocks who have a broken hand right now, but Ingram able to make the play.
Well, that's when you got to throw the football away, get rid of it, send it about 5 rows up, and not take that sack. 3 sacks today on the season for Tennessee, and they came in with 25, and that's the most in the SEC, allowing just over 3.5 sacks a game.
Here's a chance for Tennessee to pick up the first down and then some. Cunningham, and then a late hit, throw some more flags in there, and Tennessee will be in business. They'll spot it at the 46, a 24-yard pickup.
Nice job there by Chad Cunningham, and made a nice cut. I mean, that's the kind of cut you make as a running back. You see the guy's rear end, and you got to cut inside.
After the runner was out of bounds, personal foul, late hit, number 9, defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
And add on some more. You see it right here, Chad Cunningham. A nice block there to cut inside. That allowed him to pick up the first, and then Ace Sanders comes in late and escorts Chad Cunningham out of bounds. Another free 15, and Tennessee back in business offensively, Dave.
Gerald Jones goes in motion. Little pump fake. Bray down the middle of the field. Got a touchdown, Tennessee. How about that? Denarius Moore, 30 yards. Touchdown, Volunteers.
Woo! Hello, Tyler Bray. That's a man-sized throw right there. Anticipated. Stepped up, little pump fake before to move the coverage, and watch this pump fake out there, and that's going to free it up. But look at the throw right there, in stride, never had to false step, break stride to Denarius Moore. Big time throw for his first collegiate touchdown pass.
Boy, after his up and good. How about Denarius Moore, though? Last week, first play from scrimmage, gets walloped by Alabama, left the game, didn't come back. Well, he's back now, and he's got 166 yards receiving.
Oh, we talked about his ability to throw the ball into some pretty tight spiral right over the linebacker before the safety, and then beat C.C. Whitlock, the corner from that side, and we're right in stride to Denarius Moore.
I got to tell you something. Denarius Moore came into this game with 257 yards receiving on 18 catches.
Is he on his way to matching his season total?
He's 5 catches for 166 today.
He led the team with 4 touchdown receptions coming in, and 4 TDs, and now he's add another one to that.
Well, we mentioned the fact that Denarius got walloped pretty good last Saturday in Knoxville. Here is the play as he was slipping down. Boom! he would be okay, but he was certainly not able to get back on the field.
When a guy's arm stays up like that, you know he is out. I mean, he has been hit. The bell he is hearing the bells in his helmet.
Well, he has answered the bell today in a great comeback game. The senior out of Tatum, Texas, has stepped up big time. We got ourselves a one-touchdown game here with 3:09 to go in the third quarter. This kick will sail out of bounds, so South Carolina will have a chance to take it on the 40-yard line if they so choose. Tyler Bray and his
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. The ball be placed at the 40-yard line. First down.
4 out of 8, 68 yards.
That would drive me crazy. All you do all day long is kick the football off. How can you not kick it and keep it in bounds? That would drive me crazy as a coach. I mean, I know some special teams coaches try to kick it in the corner, pin a guy in close to the sideline. Forget about it. Kick it down there and cover. If you can get it out of the end zone, I would prefer that and make them start at the 20-yard line every time.
What you do is you take a little of the momentum out of your favor by doing that. South Carolina has a chance now. Pretty good field position. Garcia, though, pump fakes, loss of football. He picks it up, I believe. It'll be South Carolina football, but a loss of about 9 on the play.
What good pressure by Savion Frazier. The senior outside linebacker gets there. Gerald Williams as well gets nice push up the middle. And right here trying to reel it back in. Right there, and it comes free. You see Savion Frazier there and a bunch of Vols, but the Gamecocks able to recover the fumble. Now it's second down in Columbia, South Carolina.
Second down at 19. Garcia going deep, lofts it up in the air, looking for D.L. Moore. Nothing happening there. Garcia hit the deck. I got to tell you this: the front four done a great job by Tennessee today.
Yeah.
Chuck Smith, the defensive line coach, former NFL great, has done a marvelous job with limited numbers, and these guys have really been giving it to South Carolina today.
Yeah, and Gerald Williams had been coming on, and to get him on the field, they take Malik Jackson, as you mentioned, slide him inside, and now all of a sudden you've got a good run-stopping, kind of pass-rushing combination in there every down. So nice job by Chuck Smith in recognizing what personnel to get on the field.
A slip screen. See if Tennessee can defend this. It goes to Tory Gurley, and that'll be shy of the first down by about 6 or 7 yards. That was a 10-yard pickup, but here comes that Carolina punt team again.
Yeah, and Tory Gurley, I talked about this a little bit early. It just kind of hinted about his story, and was basically went to New Hampton Prep, and out of high school was a 2-sport star that didn't qualify and was really just kind of out there and wanted to go to Georgia Military Academy, and that fell through late. Kind of was out of it for about 9 months, and then down playing basketball in North Carolina in Charlotte. Coach recognized him and brought him in, and that's what led him to South Carolina.
South Carolina has it. Eric Gordon gives it right back to the Gamecocks.
True freshman. I mean, and those are the mistakes that you just kind of live with when you have a young football team. You're talking about a guy right out of high school last year, feels the pressure, and instead of getting under the football, tries to slide away and still catch it, arm catch it, and then the ball gets on the ground. Devontae Holloman comes up with a recovery, and South Carolina already inside the red zone of Tennessee. Boy, you fight, you scratch, you get yourself to within 7, you get a big defensive stop and force a punt, and now the other team, boy, that's why you cannot lose your concentration at all in this game.
Lattimore will get maybe 2 on the play.
What's the fastest way?
By Malik Jackson.
Fastest way to get yourself beat in a football game? Turnover. No, special team.
Well, that's
Just
3
one
turnovers.
play, and then certainly when you add a turnover to special teams, well, you go home on the bus with a sour face.
Well, that's 3 turnovers in this second half for Tennessee. The first two resulted in scores for the Gamecocks.
It's like eating dill pickles all day long. Just sour.
Incomplete, no flags on the play. Intended receiver was Justice Cunningham.
Are you surprised with the production? We're talking about over 400 yards a game from the South Carolina offense, ranked 46th in the country. But without Wesley Saunders, their big tight end that they lost or was suspended for the season, was rated as the #2 tight end prospect for next year's draft. You lose a pass rushing threat on the other side of it, an All-American, and still you find yourself at 5-2 and control basically where you're going to go the rest of the season. Outstanding coaching job, Steve Spurrier.
Third down and 9. Garcia tripped up and dropped. Herman Lathers, the sophomore out of Baton Rouge, a 7-yard loss on third down and 9. And here comes the kicking team for the Gamecocks.
That's 2.5 sacks for Herman Lathers. And you're going to see him right here. He comes around, a little delayed blitz, but right in there and able to get just right at the feet of Steven Garcia. This is no chip shot.
41-yarder on the way. He's made from 40 today. Landing 5 out of 7 on the season in the field goal department. He'll line up from between the hashes. The kick is on the way, and it is no good. And Derek Dooley and company stand tall. Only down a touchdown, and the bench erupts on the far side.
Justin Wilcox, the defensive coordinator who came over from Boise, has got to be proud of his defense. I know they've surrendered 24 points, but they've had their backs against the wall because of turnovers a number of times in this football game. And now stopping South Carolina, forcing a mid-field goal attempt. And here they come offensively with a chance to tie this game. Here are the miscues. Tennessee right here. Matt Sims in. Gets pressure from Cliff Matthews. Ball comes out. Another time, both of those turnovers led to touchdowns. Then Tyler Bray comes in, a pick 6. 21 points on turnovers for South Carolina.
Zach Rogers gets to the 32-yard line. Stop there. That'll be the last play of the third quarter. Carolina came out and scored twice in the first 3 minutes and 20 seconds of the third quarter. You thought they were getting ready to run away with it, but Tennessee did not go anywhere. Derek Dooley hoping his team can find that extra effort in the second half. So far they've gotten it. We've got a good one in Columbia. We are in the Palmetto State, the capital of South Carolina, where the Gamecocks lead Tennessee by a touchdown. Gamecocks have won 5 in a row at home. They've won 12 of the last 13 in Williams-Brice Stadium. But today, their hands are a little bit tied by this Tennessee team that just won't go away. And surprisingly, Tennessee's offense has actually outgained South Carolina 302 to 261. And for South Carolina, of course, they control their own destiny in terms of getting to the SEC championship. But a loss here would certainly send things into a tizzy in the SEC East. Tennessee trying to pick up their first conference win. They've got a long road to go. 70 yards out in front. First down, Tennessee. Cliff Matthews with another tackle on Torin Poole.
And moving the chains again, though, Tennessee. A little momentum on the side of the guys dressed in orange with a big defensive stop that last possession. Oh, first down for the young quarterback, Tyler Bray.
Rajon Neal gets the handoff on first down. Give him just a yard.
Ladi Ajiboye in there on the stop. 3-year starter and the team's best inside player on that defensive line. Super quick player for this side. 6'1", 290 pounds. Can really move around in there and cause trouble. Look at that face mask for a defensive lineman. Got a running back's face mask. Lets you know he's got some quicks. I bet the big fella played a little running back in high school.
He's trying to tell you he's got some quicks.
He's selling it, huh?
Here's Bray. Going deep, has a man wide open. Pass is caught. Denarius Moore spins down to the 2-yard line. Gilmore finally drags him down 62 yards on the play. There is a flag down inside the 20.
And a late, super late flag. I'll tell you what makes this play is Tyler Bray stepping up in the pocket to find Denarius Moore. Pressure by DJ Swearinger. Maybe a block, and it looks like it's going to be on DeRodgers. Rodgers.
It'll be from a spot foul, so the catch will count.
Oh, yeah, it's still going to be a big play, but not inside the 5 at the 2-yard line where you'd want it if you're Derek Dooley.
After the play, personal foul, number 21, offense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, 1st and 10.
So in a way, it actually benefits Tennessee a little bit better that it was after the play because it would have been a spot.
Well, watch here. Pressure coming, and then right there, the ability to step up and keeping your eyes down the field allowed Denarius Moore to get into his route. Stephon Gilmore kind of allows him to get behind him, as well as Devontae Holloman, the safety. And then throwing his, if he throws this baby out on a line and gets it on out there a little more, Denarius Moore will walk into the end zone. Had to wait on the football.
6 catches, 228 now for Denarius Moore. I'll give you those numbers again because they're kind of stunning. Bray steps up, fires to the end zone. Gerald Jones, touchdown Volunteers, 17 yards.
Well, we're watching a guy grow up right here, and he's about 6'6", 210 pounds. Tyler Bray, and a nice throw to Gerald Jones. Gets in the middle of the field and actually is a little shaken up on the play. Couldn't really get to the sideline. Pump fake to one side, step away, which takes the defense that way. Excellent job in the red zone, because that's really the only way to move defenders. They don't really commit to head bobs or things like or shoulder fakes. You pump fake them, they think you're throwing the football because it's a condensed area. They've got to respect it and move. He comes backside to Gerald Jones with a nice strike, and he's having a respectable day of his own, Dave. 5 receptions, 42 yards, and then that touchdown catch.
He's had a couple of really big 3rd down grabs today. Pilardi's point after is up, and it is good. How about this, folks? Tennessee just 2-5 on the year.
Won't go away.
They came in here 0-4 in league play. 20th ranked team in the country with their hands full. 4th quarter football, we're all knotted up. Per game, 7 of the last 10 games have been decided by single digits, and it looks like we're headed down that direction now. 13-17 to go, tied at 24 as Michael Pilardi will kick it off. Bryce Sherman comes up to the 8-yard line to field the kickoff. And Bryce out over the 25 to the 27-yard line. Time for us to take a look at our good hands play of the day, brought to you by Allstate. It's that touchdown by Gerald Jones.
No doubt about it. And Tyler Bray pump fakes one side and laying out, making a play for his team. Gerald Jones right there before he takes the lick or absorbs the punishment, gets himself down underneath Devontae Holloman and ties this baby up. And I tell you what, I got to give credit to Derek Dooley and his coaching staff, as well as the team. They come out in the second half. It's tied at 10 apiece. Give up 2 quick touchdowns, down by 14, didn't flinch, and came right back in this football game to tie it up.
Connor Shaw with the keeper as he comes in to run the opening play on this drive, and Stephen Garcia will head back on to the football field. Gain of 1 for Connor Shaw. Gerald Williams with another tackle. I've just been impressed with the front 4 of Tennessee today.
Yeah.
They really stood up to the challenge.
Very active. And there's Coach Dooley, who I think is going to absolutely get it done at Tennessee. And he's going to win. They went 8-5 at Louisiana Tech, the first bowl appearance and a win in the Independence Bowl. First time Louisiana Tech had been to a bowl game in 30 years.
Garcia over the middle. Wide open was Jeffrey. Alshon. Look at him go. Bye-bye. Touchdown, South Carolina. 70 yards.
Well, what a block by Tori Gurley on Jansen Jackson to free up Alshon Jeffrey and let him do his thing on the way to the end zone. Unselfish by number 81 to throw a block for the guy on the other side. Excellent job by Tori Gurley. Just like that.
Point after is up and good. That's how you answer.
Yeah, and you know, as a teammate, you really don't see that stuff until the next day during film study. But watch number 81 come into the picture. It's a little pass here to Alshon Jeffrey. And you think, oh, great run after the catch. But there's a reason why. Look at the block right there. Just enough of it. And that's what frees him up to get down the sideline and hit the extra gear and get in the end zone. Nice block by Tori Gurley.
It's amazing. Steve Spurrier says of Alshon Jeffrey, he says he just doesn't look that fast, but then yet nobody can catch him.
You can't catch it. If you see the back of the jersey, forget about it.
Alshon Jeffrey with just his second catch today, now has 75 yards. This young man is a touchdown machine, a big play guy, averaging over 17 yards a reception. Of course, that'll go up with 2 for 75 today. But this coming off a career high in receptions against Vanderbilt, had 192 yards and 2 TDs against Auburn. And now Derek Dooley and company,
well, he was special.
Trying to figure it out.
Last year as a true freshman, 46 receptions, over 700 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's blown all that out of the water, over 50 catches, and getting close to 900 yards or so, right at 1,000, and then 7 touchdowns already receiving. He is, I don't know if you can even call him a star in the making. I think he's a star that has arrived, and everyone in the SEC knows about Alshon Jeffrey.
Well, he had a 72-yard touchdown versus Vandy, an 80-yarder against Arkansas last year. Now you can add a 70-yarder today. Story for Tennessee last week, 69 offensive plays by Alabama, 61. They averaged 3.8 per play, but 8 of those plays covered 300 yards out of the 69. That's a big play, big difference. Rodgers out to the 25-yard line and stopped at the 27. Well, we came in, Andre, and talked about the ability for South Carolina to throw it, catch it, to run with it. The big 3 playmakers today have pretty much lived up to their numbers.
Well, look at it, 75 yards and the touchdown reception to Jeffrey, and you see right there, Garcia playing another solid football game, and Lattimore already over 100 yards, just under 5 yards a run. Boy, the big 3 getting it done for South Carolina. That's why they're in this game. But Tyler Bray, 6 of 10 so far, 147, 2 TDs and an interception. Pressure back on him.
Torin Poole picking up 2.
Tennessee, it's like, you know, a good boxing match where you got 2 guys in the middle of the ring slugging it out. You just got hit. Just got caught with a haymaker, and it was in the form of number 1 in the burgundy-colored uniform. Now it's your turn to see if you can slip a punch right here and then throw a haymaker yourself to get back in this game.
Torin Poole trying to get the edge, can't outrun some of those guarded jerseys. It was Antonio Allen, the Spur, chasing him down after a gain of 3, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. Dave Neal, Andre Ware, Kara Capuano down the sidelines. You see South Carolina trying to hold on to their half-game lead in the SEC East. They can run the table in the conference. They will play in Atlanta. Tennessee trying to pick up their first conference win. Big 3rd down right here. 3rd down and 3.
29% coming into this game on 3rd downs for the Volunteers.
The slant to Jones, another catch. He is a 3rd down catching machine.
I thought you were going somewhere where my great-grandmother would go. But, boy, a nice job of Tyler Bray of getting that baby out of there. And once the slant appears, you know, it's either going to happen in the first window or the second, and you got to wait out the second one. And if you do that, you bring in the pass rush. He gets it out in the first window and then moves the chains along with it.
Tennessee has now thrown for over 300 yards today. Here's a little end around with plenty of room. Derek Rogers takes it inside South Carolina territory down to the 41-yard line. That's a gain of 19.
Well, they tore it up and then got the tape out
and put it back
and
together.
Putting it back together again. Nice job here. A little misdirection, get everybody thinking one way with the running back. And Derek Rogers, boy, is he a powerful runner with the football in his hands. I'd have to find a way. Screen passes, just, you know, a little hitch route outside to just get him the football.
Well, I think that was the goal today.
So good after the catch.
Somehow get him the football. Because he came in, he'd only had 6 receptions all season. Rajon Neal in a tailback. The Bray will be dropped back at the 48-yard line. A loss of 11. Ladi Ajiboye with his first sack of the season.
Lottie Dottie showing up.
The 4th sack of the game by the Carolina defenders.
I just love that face mask. Maybe we can get a shot of that. Big Lottie Ajiboye right here, escaping inside, little power move, getting up underneath, and then right there, get the hands on the quarterback and get him on the ground. Love the face mask, Lottie.
The senior out of Riverdale, Georgia. Great quickness, used it right there, playing with a broken hand.
Bet he played a little fullback at times in high school. Can't let the face mask go.
Little 3-man rush, trying to set up a screen. Rajon Neal nowhere to go. Rodney Paulk, loss of 6.
He was hampered with a knee suffered last year against North Carolina State. He was suspended for the first half of last week's game. Vanderbilt, but you know, he moves around pretty good in there, and right there read things out and got to the screen pass.
Today's First and 10 line brought to you by Toyota. See your local Toyota dealer for deals that will make you feel like an MVP. Toyota moving forward. Can Tennessee keep the drive alive on 3rd and 25? Nothing happening there as Neal bumped out of bounds by C.C. Whitlock.
And a smart play call, because you have a young quarterback in the football game, and it's hard to convince a true freshman not to try to pick up 25 yards and then throw into coverage, force an interception that gets maybe returned for good yardage and great field position. So you take that out of his hands, run the draw play, punt, play defense, hope to get a stop with time left to go down and tie this football game back up again.
Chad Cunningham. A booming punt that hit a South Carolina player, but the Gamecocks recover. That might have hit Gilmore. Oh, that could have been a tricky situation for South Carolina.
What I tell you, fastest way to get beat in a football game? Special teams.
Well, we found Waldo. 31-24, 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. On a Halloween weekend last year, Tennessee able to knock off South Carolina on Halloween night in Knoxville. Well, college basketball fans, catch some exciting college basketball action November 18th through the 21st in Charleston, South Carolina, as Georgetown, NC State, East Carolina, and more compete in the 3rd annual Charleston Classic. For tickets and information, be sure to go to charlestonclassic.com. All right, well, Tennessee caught a fortunate break there. Hit Gilmore on a punt return, and they were able to fall on it, but the bad news is they're backed up inside the 10. Good news is you got Marcus Lattimore running a little toss sweep, get you out over the 10.
Well, when you have the luxury of being able to turn around and give it to a guy like Marcus Lattimore, it takes a tremendous amount of pressure off an offense and really allows you to finish games. And as long as the offensive line's still in sync and he's getting positive yards, that is dying a slow death.
This might be Marcus more time right now.
No doubt about it, it is.
Of course, didn't play last week with a bad ankle. Only played a couple of quarters at Kentucky a few weeks ago in that devastating loss by the Gamecocks on the road. Lattimore. Not much room up there. Once again, those white jerseys just plugging those holes. Only 2 on that carry. Savion Frazier able to come up with the tackle.
Yeah, Chris Walker in there as well to help him out. And you mentioned that the front 4 of Tennessee they've been very active. You've called Victor Thomas's name a couple of times, Malik Jackson, Gerald Williams. Those guys up front have been the difference for Tennessee on the defensive side of the football.
3rd down and 5. Garcia will throw it. Pass caught by Jeffrey, breaks a couple of tacklers, and there's a Tennessee defender down, a gain of 12. And Herman Lathers not moving at the 27-yard line.
It's just a little in route, which we've seen earlier. They hit Jeffrey on it. He actually went the distance, and Lathers comes in, tries to deliver a little punishment to Alshon. Savion Frazier's the guy that ended up making the tackle.
Lathers, a sophomore out of Baton Rouge today with 6 tackles, a sack, a quarterback pressure, been very active, and just an awkward position when he went in for that tackle, kind of snapped his head back a little bit. Well, they continue to take a look at Herman Lathers. We'll step aside. 30. There is Herman Lathers. Walked off on under his own power.
Oh, that's good to see.
And nice class act by the folks here. Standing ovation as he left the field. And boy, it was just one of those things where you know we both seen enough football to know there's certain things that just kind of scary, and that's when your head snapped back.
Yeah, like that. And there's some big receivers in this conference. Alshon Jeffrey being one of them, that can kind of absorb that and then continue on. And you got to make sure that you come up and you break down and tackle a guy that's that big, 233, 35 pounds at 6'4". Doesn't go down easily.
3 catches, 87 yards now for Alshon. That was a big 3rd down catch that moved the chains. Austin Johnson checks in for Tennessee in that linebacking position as Lathers continues to be looked at by the Tennessee training staff. Lattimore, big hole. Marcus cuts it back to the 40, to the 35, and stopped at the 35. A 40-yard pickup, but a big hit by Jansen Jackson. That may be a blow to the head.
And another flag down. I think you're absolutely right. But watch Marcus Lattimore. A luxury when you can turn around and give it to a guy like this. He was playing high school football last year, but now Steve Spurrier depending on him to close out games.
After the play, personal foul, number 55, defense. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
I saw that helmet-to-helmet shot from Eric Gordon to Lattimore. That wasn't the whistle, but it was the personal foul variety, and that'll just move the ball all the way down to just inside the 21.
Rokevius Watkins, the junior right guard, just kind of washes everything down and inside and allowed Lattimore the ability to cut it back. It started left. He cut it back out the backside, and it was because of that block by Watkins that really freed things up for him.
Out of the eye. Lattimore makes a couple of guys miss. To the 10, to the 5, out to the 2-yard line. Give him 19 more. This young man is unreal.
Boy, Jarrell King threw a block on Gerald Williams. They kind of freed him up this way. Designed to go right. You see it right there. 76 kind of pinning Gerald Williams inside and allowed Marcus Lattimore to cut back outside. Right there, another block down the field on Jansen Jackson. Lattimore is special.
25 for a $167 as the ball sits at the 1.
Over 6,300 yards in his high school career and 104 touchdowns scored by Marcus Lattimore. That's production.
South Carolina willing to let the clock, the play clock, and game clock run down. 13 on the play clock and 4:45 on the game clock. Now they will try to run it out of the I formation. Nothing happening. Lattimore on that carry. But I think once again you will see the Gamecocks just let the seconds tick off.
Yeah, you're trying to just get it down And you're going to snap the football with about 5 seconds left on the play clock. Look at the offense, the rushing yards for Tennessee. Their entire team just over 100 yards. Marcus Lattimore by himself, 146.
High snap. Lattimore is hit again, shy of the goal line. That time, it was Nick Revesz along.
Boy, and a near miss, because I don't understand why do coaches go to that shotgun look down here when so much bad could happen.
3rd and inches, quarterback sneak. No doubt about it. Garcia with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the afternoon may have just sealed the deal here in Columbia.
Well, you're going to catch Tennessee on their heels and maybe celebrating a stop the previous down. And Stephen Garcia right under, quick snap for his 2nd touchdown run of the afternoon.
Spencer Lanning to attempt the point after. It is up and it is good. 3:26 on the clock. 38-24. SEC Network game has been brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Vonage sounds good. Papa John's, official pizza of your NFL game day. And by the Charleston Basketball Classic, November 18th through the 21st in Charleston, South Carolina. South Carolina goes 8 plays, 92 yards, 4.5 minutes to take a 14-point advantage, 38-24, 3:28 to play on a gorgeous day in Columbia. Fans here excited. Steve Spurrier has continued to say and ask the question, how will his team handle success? Well, today they were backs against the wall and responded when they needed to. And that drive led by Marcus Lattimore.
Well, you handle it with Garcia, Lattimore, and Jeffrey. That's how you handle success.
Rogers picks up that rolling kickoff, and he'll get it to the 25-yard line, and Tennessee will come back and try to move it down the field in a hurry. But Marcus Lattimore, he's the real deal, folks. I don't know what else you need to know about this young man other than that he is one of the most special players we've had a chance to see in a long, long time.
Well, we're going to be talking about this young man for a long time in some big-time conversations. Catches the ball well out of the backfield, can hit the home run for you, get you the tough yards by moving the pile. Special player, number 21 for South Carolina.
Throws over the middle, incomplete. And a flag comes in. Gerald Jones, the intended target. Stephon Gilmore was the defender.
Well, and I'll tell you what, Tyler Bray.
Number 5, defense. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Well, there is Lattimore, who exhibited the right stuff today, and he's our player of the game, brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low prices every day. He's a true freshman. The guy throwing the ball for Tennessee right now, true freshman also.
Yeah, and you know what? He's got this uncanny ability to really not allow pressure to phase him. And I'm talking about Tyler Brace, kind of stepping up that pass intended for Gerald Jones. But steps up, makes pressure miss, and then delivers the football. We've got something to work with here.
Nowhere to go. Drop back at the 31. A loss of 10 on the play. Antonio Allen, the first man on the spot, followed by Melvin Ingram.
Sometimes you can't avoid it. They bring it in waves with Allen first and then Melvin Ingram, the second wave coming through. He gets away from Antonio Allen, but the big fella. Melvin Ingram, you can't get away from him. 2 sacks today for Melvin Ingram. 5 in the game for South Carolina.
Second 21. They'll throw it over the middle. Out over the 40 to the 41-yard line goes Torin Poole. That's a gain of 9. But the clock moves at 2:27, 2:26.
It's 30 sacks on the year. Tennessee's given up.
Wow, that is 113th in the country. That pass batted at the line of scrimmage on 3rd down, and I think Tennessee's got no other choice but to go for it on 4th and 11.
Yeah, you punt the football here, you can just best believe you're not going to see it again.
Not with Lattimore back there.
With 21 on the other side.
This is a 4th down and 11.
The 2 guys, 83, 98, Matthews and Taylor, and then Ingram and Ajiboye on the inside have just wreaked havoc all day.
Throw to the wide side. Incomplete, looking for Justin Hunter. And that'll give South Carolina the football. And the Gamecocks, not their best effort today, but enough. Derek Dooley. This team scratched and clawed as we take a look at our Wendy's in real time.
Well, it's been turnovers. A sack, fumble early in the ball game. Matt Sims stepping up. Got to get rid of it. Sack, fumble again. Led to 21 points. Tyler Bray comes in. Interception for a touchdown. And the sacks start to mount. Melvin Ingram picking up that one. 5 in the game for the Gamecocks.
Lattimore bounce it around. End up with 5. Malik Jackson with his 6th stop today. Well, South Carolina's going to go to 6-2, 4-2 in the Southeastern Conference. And this is a team certainly that believes, and you just get the vibe of walking around the football offices and around this campus, that this is their time.
Yeah.
The East is there for the taking like it's never been since the league went to divisions back in 1992.
And kind of felt that way coming into the season. We knew that there would be a different Florida team that took the field this year, minus Tim Tebow, switching the offense a little bit to where the parts I don't think really fit there. Georgia is supposed to have a big season. There's Lattimore again picking up another first down on 2nd down and 6.
It's 13 on that carry.
And then now, you know, South Carolina, they've shown they've got the big 3 to get it done. And that's the end of the day for Marcus Lattimore. You see the approval of Coach Steve Spurrier, even trying to get the crowd involved. That's how much he thinks of Marcus Lattimore.
183 yards on the ground, 1 better than he had against Georgia when he carried it 37 times. Today, Lattimore carried it 29 times. Here's Brian Maddox dancing around. Maddox dropped at the 15 as we are under a minute to go. And
you look at it, it's a team that still has to face Florida. Clemson looming down the road as well.
There's Alshon, and he'll get a big round of applause. Alshon today, 3 catches, 87 yards, and a 70-yard touchdown. Today's 1st and 10 line brought to you by Toyota. See your local Toyota dealer for deals that will make you feel like an MVP.
Jeffrey got up a little slow after that play, actually trying to throw a block downfield for Brian Maddox.
That will do it. Tennessee, another valiant effort, but they find a way to wind up losing another Southeastern Conference football game, 0-5 in the league. Meanwhile, South Carolina goes to 4-2, controlling their own destiny in the Southeastern Conference. And for the Gamecocks, next up, it'll be a date with Arkansas, and then they'll wrap up SEC play at Florida. But South Carolina wins at 38-24. We will come back. Put a wrap on things. Stay with us on the SEC Network.